What is up, friends? It's Simon from PianoPig.com, and today I wanted to explain to you what I think is the first bit of theory you should learn when getting into the world of jazz. Don't let the word theory put you off though. It's actually surprisingly simple, and it will answer so many questions you may have had about theory. You'll be able to work out the key of a chord progression, you'll understand what people mean when they say play a 6-2-5-1, you'll be able to come up with your own chord progressions. All these cool and really useful things come from functional harmony, and I'm going to break it down in a way that is really easy to understand. And this lesson you're about to watch is actually from my brand new course, Jazz Basics. This one is all about covering the fundamentals and filling in any gaps you might have, preparing you to really get out there and start learning how to play jazz. If you want to get access to the full course, it's available now inside the PianoPig Academy. It comes with a bunch of resource sheets, quizzes. I've really put a lot of work into this one, and I think you're going to enjoy it. If you're not already a member and you fancy getting stuck in with the full course, click the link in the description below and come and join us today. It would be awesome to see you on the inside. But enough of me talking, let's learn about functional harmony. So the first question I'm sure we all have: what is functional harmony? Functional harmony, or you might also hear it be called diatonic harmony, is a way of thinking about the purpose of chords and harmony. It's a method of assigning labels and numbers to chords. Let's take a C major scale, for instance. We can actually build a chord from each note of that scale. And not only that, we can build a seventh chord from each of those notes. So how do we do that? Well, let's start by building a seventh chord off the first note, C. We play a C, and then we skip the next note of the C major scale. But we add the following note into the chord. And then we do the same again. Skip the next note, and add the following note into the chord. And again, skip, add. And we can't continue this because then we're back to C, and the chord has to stay within one octave. So we're left with this. And this is the chord that is built off the first note of the scale. And if we want to repeat that same process that we've just been through for each note of the C major scale, we would get these chords. So all of the notes in every single one of those chords belong within the C major scale. And those chords are C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G dominant 7, A minor 7, B minor 7 flat 5, and then we're just back to our C major 7. And what we can do now is number these chords from 1 to 7. And that now gives us a numbering system. So we would have chord 1, chord 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and chord 7. And something to take note of is that when you see these Roman numerals in music, we tend to use uppercase for major chords and lowercase for minor chords. Now, I'm sure you've probably come across terminology such as a 2-5-1, and you're probably thinking, aha, that's where the numbers come from. And you're right, a 2-5-1 would literally be a case of taking chord 2, D minor 7, chord 5, G dominant 7, and chord 1, C major 7. So now when you hear people say things such as play a 1-6-2-5 in the key of C major, you'll actually know what they are talking about. But here's the even cooler part. I imagine some of you are thinking, well, that's all very good. I understand that those are the chords within the key of C major, but what happens when we change key? Because you might be thinking, well, there are 7 chords I need to remember for the key of C major, but there are 12 keys. So does that mean I need to somehow remember 84 different chords? And that is a very valid question. And thankfully, the answer to that question is no. You do not need to remember 84 different chords. And this is the cool bit I mentioned earlier. If we get rid of the first part of these chords, we're left with this. And if we then put in their place the notes of a G major scale, for example, we would write G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, the notes of the G major scale. And this then leaves us with the actual chords within the key of G major. And something very, very important to notice is that the chord type of each number doesn't change. It's only the chords that change. So chord 1 is always a major 7. Chord 2 is always a minor 7. Chord 3 is always a minor 7. Chord 4 is always a major 7. Chord 5 is always a dominant 7. Chord 6 is always a minor 7. And chord 7 is always a minor 7 flat 5. That system there, that major, minor, minor, major, dominant, minor, minor 7 flat 5, never changes. No matter what key you're in, it's always the same. And understanding this concept is huge, because it means that if you know your major scales, and you remember this system, you can easily work out any chord within any key just from a number. For example, if someone said to you, play chord 6 in E major, all we'd have to do is get our numbered chordal system, put the notes of E major in front of them, and we can clearly see that chord 6 would be a C sharp minor 7. And if we analyse this even further, we can see that all the notes of C sharp minor 7 are present within the E major scale. And the same would be true for any of those chords. Let's do another little quiz. If we were given this chord progression and we were told it was in the key of A major, how would we number the chords? We would start by writing out all the chords within A major and labelling them. And from there, it should just be a matter of matching them up. So here are the numbered 7th chords within A major. And we can clearly see that this progression is a 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. So what I want you to do now is download the quiz worksheet from below and try to label all the chords. There's a variety of different progressions in different keys, and once you've filled them all out, you can download the answer sheet to check your answers. Let us know in the community if you get stuck, and also how well you do in the quiz. I'd love to know. So congratulations, you've just learnt one of the most important and useful bits of jazz theory. Now you've learnt it, you'll notice it cropping up everywhere, and hopefully you'll be able to answer quite a few other theory-related questions you may have had. It may seem like quite a bit of effort to work these things out to start with, but as long as you can work it out, no matter how long it takes, that's the important thing. As you get more and more familiar with scales and chords and progressions, this will all begin to come to you more naturally. So I hope you enjoyed that and found it useful. As I mentioned at the start of this video, this lesson was actually taken from my brand new course, Jazz Basics, which has just been released inside the PianoPig Academy. If you're not already a member and you want to get access to the full course, click the link in the description, come and join us, and I'll be waiting for you inside the community. I'll see you there.